Turns out Elon Musk has had the high ground, and Bitcoin's pretty much been Anakin completely over the weekend. I mean, we're down over, we're down a lot. We were at 58K not too long ago. A couple days goes by. Last week we were at 58K, 60K. Now we are in the 40s. We're in 45,000, and there are a few key indicators that I am looking at as buying opportunities right now. We're going to get into my actual positions if I'm actually holding Bitcoin or Mara or whatever soon. But right now, the 200-day exponential moving average, right, 42K. That's where that's sitting. I would not be surprised if it comes down to touch and kiss that 200-day EMA and then come right back up and start going back on the uptrend. Now, I know we've got that scary pie indicator, you know, the one that goes something like that. Basically, it's a little mathematical proportional equation, and basically it's got all the touch points, and then it kind of levels out. That is true. It's not the most bullish thing in the world, right? But we've cooled down. It's not like Bitcoin is completely just running up for no reason. Okay, I think the last year or last 6 months at least, people have started to actually research Bitcoin and see what the technology is. That is, in my mind, what has actually pushed us this high. Pair it with a bull market, and this you get a price of 44K Bitcoin today. Now, I'm not saying we're not overextended if you look at the week daily, even if you zoom out on the daily, right? I mean, we're still up over 400%. Not even, you know, we're not even going back like even a year, and we're up 400%. Sure, you can make the argument that we're due for a correction all the way down to like 30K. Okay, now do I think that is happening? I don't think it's happening. I really don't. I'm not trading it like that, and I'm not expecting that whatsoever. It would take something. I mean, they can certainly happen. I mean, if someone actually figured out a way how to mine fake Bitcoin consistently, it can happen. But if you've looked into ledgers at all and how the actual technology works, I'm just going to say it's impossible. And to my understanding, it's essentially impossible. I think it is. So there are a few things like government regulation that, and if there was no inflation at all, that could really hurt Bitcoin as well. Also, environmental concerns. Obviously, Elon Musk is actually what set the stop price down. We're going to be covering that as well. Use the timestamps / YouTube chapters for your time and convenience if you just want to look at that. But for the technicals, as I said, your entry point is going to be in a 200-day EMA, 42K. We also have the Bollinger Bands on the daily here. We are much closer to that bottom band, and the top band indicated to me we have much more upside to go from here. But at the same time, if we look at some of our reversal / trend gaugers here, you're in very bearish territory. On the weekly, you're in bearish. You don't have any signs of a reversal whatsoever, right? I mean, on the 4-hourly, you're not even close. You actually just got the SAR flip on the 4-hourly back to bearish after two little 4-hourly candles of being bullish. So, and this is obviously because of the negative news catalyst that we're going to go over, but there are no signs of reversal. So, I would be careful. We obviously are at a very nice level of support right here. We've got one perfect touch point right here, and it was a bit of a support right when we initially broke out of it. So this is going to be a strong level of support. If we were to break this, what's the next entry point, right? I would say the next level to maybe start a long-term position or just to trade it, it's going to be roughly 41K down to 40K flat. This is because this was the previous all-time high for a long time. The first time we got rejected off this, we were in a bear market microscopically for a few months, really, or at least 1 month. Well, not even a couple months, not even one full month, really. But this was a nice, scary little time for Bitcoin. I remember that very well, and that is going to be a strong level of support, I think. I'm just going to put this out there. The lower Bitcoin goes, the more I will load up, essentially. So if we see 41K, I will load up more. If we saw like 30K ever again, I'm not betting on this, but if we ever saw 30K again, yeah, you better bet I'm selling some BNGO if BNGO is doing well to actually buy Mara or maybe direct Bitcoin itself. So I copy and pasted what Bloomberg had here. They do the whole little, your free content has expired. Please send us money so you can read this article. So I just copy and pasted and just did it here. So Elon Musk implied in the Twitter exchange Sunday. This article was from an hour ago, by the way. Let me go ahead and prove it to you. Okay, so if you copy and paste that into this, okay, you get the exact same thing, right? Implied on the Twitter exchange, blah, blah, but they don't let you actually view the article. So I had to copy and paste it. It started with a tweet from a person using the handle, blah, blah. Bitcoiners are going to slap themselves next quarter when they find out Tesla dumped the rest of their Bitcoin holdings. With the amount of hate Elon is getting, I wouldn't blame him. And then Elon said, indeed. Now, Now, the amount of the chances of him actually telling everyone in the world what he actually did with Bitcoin after saying he wouldn't be selling it, I don't think he would let this information out. I also think the original tweet that he actually said, I think this original tweet, I think there's a very high chance that this was actually totally intentional, and he is still bullish on Bitcoin, just for the simple fact that Elon Musk, before he invested 1.5 billion, you really think that he didn't know some guy who's like, oh, coal is horrible, never use coal, only clean energy, the same guy who mines in the earth like 1,000 feet in the earth for batteries for every electric car vehicle that you have to swap out every few years, that same guy, he thinks that Bitcoin is horrible for the environment. He did not even, and not even that, okay, not even the hypocrisy of that, in my opinion, but the idea of him not checking it out beforehand, I don't think that's realistic. I mean, the idea that the most environmentally friendly guy, right, environmentally friendly, that's what he thinks of himself as, he did not even check the environmental impact of Bitcoin before he invested $1.5 billion of his company's money in. I don't know about you, but that doesn't make sense to me, okay? So, of course, he did say, you know, I don't know. He could be for real here. He could be going to Cardano, all right, or Doge, right? Whatever, I don't know. But at the end of the day, everyone overreacts. Whatever Elon Musk says, people overreact to the upside and the downside. Like, let's be honest, Elon Musk, yes, he's one of the richest men, right? Is he still the richest man in the world? I don't know. He's one of the top most rich worlds. Everyone loves him, basically. Not everyone. Actually, a lot of people don't like what he says. A lot of people hold his opinion very highly, and they will trade based off of it. And not necessarily just them. The overreaction to whatever he says is always prominent. I mean, you can always tell, right? I mean, if he says it's good, look, I mean, this is what he sent the stop price up back here. He literally sent us up to 56K initially, nearly by himself, actually. Not totally by himself, but he started this run. And he's starting now, he's pump and dumping a little bit, right? Based on the chart. Now, I'm not actually calling him a pump and dumper, but that is kind of what we're looking at. All in all, probably an overreaction. That's your ape language. And the lower we go, the better of a buy it is if you're bullish on Bitcoin. So for Mora here, right, I always go back to this article because it's literally like the reason why I am invested in Mora and why I'm so bullish on Mora. So one of the biggest concerns about Bitcoin is the mining, right? A lot of the bears think they mine Bitcoin in illegal ways, you know, sketchy, whatever they think. All right. Basically, Mora has decided they're doing this agreement, right? They're going to be making like a base, a headquarters, a mining facility, right? They believe that it is their responsibility to follow U.S. regulations. We believe that such regulatory compliant mining will allow us to produce clean Bitcoin, which will enable a greater number of institutions to gain exposure to this new asset class, right? That's exactly what we want to see from these guys, in my opinion. Right, so more than 2/3 of Bitcoin's global hash rate is concentrated in pools with little transparency, right? They're not compliant. They're not going out and telling the SEC to come over and check them out and boasting about how compliant they are. No. That 2/3 of mining is not like that. And most reside in one country, right? It is our belief that this concentration of hash rate outside of the United States, whereas central authorities could interfere with mining operations without due process, poses a risk to the network. We believe shifting more mining power to the U.S. could reduce these risks, potentially strengthening the network and benefiting all who participate in it, right? So, I mean, our mining pool would be the 7th largest Bitcoin mining pool in the world, putting North America on the map as a digital asset mining hub. So basically, it's going to be Mora's little pool, and they're going to have DMG's proprietary Blockseer pool technology. So ape language, too long didn't read, too long didn't focus, right? I would just say that Mora and Bitcoin are in more auspicious buy zones as they continue to dip further. That's what I would say at the end of the day. Current positions here. Let's show the portfolio showcase. All right, so I'm holding Mora. I chose to hold Mora over the weekend. Obviously, in hindsight, wish I did not. I'm going to be waking up right at market open, trying to see if I can sell some of these shares before it goes down like 20-30%. I don't know, but if Bitcoin stays where it is right now, it will probably go down maybe anywhere from 10 to 30%, honestly, probably. That's most likely. It depends on what high growth does. It's really, more is very correlated these days to high growth, even more than Bitcoin some days. Anyways, those are the current positions. Relevant information in regards to the TLRY has finished now. Upgrades, we're getting upgraded soon. Video output is going to increase. Mom Genomics on Twitter is a good source of information. Anyways, this is not financial advice. Thank you all so much. I will see you all in the next one.